Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. So this is going to be part 2 of doing the door bottom on the 71 Demon. I just had so much footage that the video was going to be way too long. So I split up into 2 parts. As you can see behind me, I've already got it done. I'm starting to strip the door up and get it ready to do some body work on it. But yeah, so make sure you like and subscribe to the video. I really appreciate all the feedback and the subscribers that are rolling in. I got 10 subscribers just in one day over the weekend. So I really appreciate it. I think we're at 74 subscribers or 76 subscribers, something like that. I see you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I'll keep rolling out the content as long as someone's watching. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll get into it, I guess. All right, so I got all the patchwork done here. I'm going to weld this bottom lip in solid now, and then I'll flip it over and I'll scribe where the door bottom goes, cut off the nasty old steel, and get it ready to go in. I'm gonna grind this down because the heat's set to penetrate the 18 gauge steel. Once you're welding in between 2 welds and the welds are thicker, lots of times you won't get the penetration right up against the other welds, so there'll be some pinholes in it still. So I'll grind it all flat. I can see a spot where there's no weld. It's in there, but I'll grind it flat, and then I'll just do another pass of welds where it needs it. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. First I'm going to take a break, I think. We'll see. Maybe I won't. Wavy. Dolly it around. I did alright with the panels. I think that's all. All right. Oh. Pretty happy with that. I'll put a little bit of fiberglass over this stuff and probably fill it out. Same thing here. Even though it looks pretty decent, I'll still just put a light skim of fiberglass and body fill over it just to make it look perfect. And then I'll do that after I put this skin on the bottom. I'm gonna have to get some more weld through primer. I think I do have some still, but I'll get a fresh can. I'll do this lip on the inside. I'll clamp it all up. Once the car's painted, I'm going to get some rust check or something and just spray in the bottom of there. Just not so it's pouring out, but just so it stays oily. Also, I'll weld through primer the back side of this lip, and I'll also weld through primer the inside of the patch too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a couple little tacks with the MIG welder, and then I might TIG weld it tomorrow. There's either sandblasting sand or metal shavings in my hood, or in my welding helmet. And when I went to throw it on there, it just dumped down my back. So I think everywhere feels decent to me, except for right here. This weld pulled the gap too tight, and it's like pushed into each other, so I'll have to grind that down, hammer it to stretch that weld out. It's MIG, so it'll be harder than a TIG, or it's MIG, so it'll be harder than a TIG weld to hammer out, but hopefully it will stretch a little bit. Alright, so I got that gap stretched out. I also stretched the sheet metal around it so it created a little dimple. But I'm gonna see if I can get a edge of a grinder in there. There's a burr on the edge of the steel, so I'm gonna see if I can get that burr off. Where'd my little hammer go? Where'd that little hammer go? This? Where'd that hammer go? Where'd I put the hammer? I must have left it inside the door. I did. Alright, I don't know what you're pointing at. Get closer. That's how that's gonna fit. Looks pretty clean. I'll hammer this edge down, I think, tomorrow. I keep saying that, but maybe I'll do it tonight. I think I'm gonna wait. Okay, I'm gonna start rolling this door skin over. I don't feel like welding quite yet. I'm just gonna cut these edges here. If you can see them. I'm gonna bring them close to a 45. That way, when they get folded in together, they aren't overlapping. Bring it a little closer. So essentially what I'm doing is rolling the edge over, but instead of pounding it all down at once, you'll get a not as nice of a bend if you just kind of go along it, tap it down, and just keep going back and forth. Alright, this is the door bottom all folded over. You see a couple of the outline of the patches a little bit, but a light skim of fiberglass will take care of that. Alright, so last night when I tacked this up with the MIG welder, I pulled it in pretty tight here, so I hammered it out to close that, or to open that gap back up, because it was pinching on itself and pushing it up. Well, when I've stretched that weld out and opened the gap up, and now I've created a buckle in the panel here, because I put more material here, so it's got to go somewhere. So I'm gonna cut this. This one here is real close too, so I might cut one down here too. See if I can give it a bit more room. This one's tight too. That's the problem. It's you want it a tight fit up, but because then you're gonna use less filler and not blow through, not burn the edge off. But you get it too tight as you're welding, it's gonna bind together. Right, I got this little body saw. I'm probably yelling because I got headphones on. Got this little body saw. I'm gonna. It's got a real thin blade. I'm gonna get it in the gaps that are opened up and cut those welds, and also use it to kind of cut the steel that's fixed together. Bought this little stubby body hammer. It doesn't have much of a neck on it there, and it's got nothing on the back. It's pretty sweet for inside the door panels. Okay, I'm gonna take the dog home, get some lunch, and then I'm gonna take that up once I get back. Ready to go home? Wanna go car ride? Oh, Mr. Finnegan. Come on. Up, let's go. Get your ball. Up. Oh, you want me to throw the ball one more time? Okay, or not. Hey, Finnegan. Let's go, bud. Alright, so there's some undercoating or sound deadening or something like that inside the door here. But it doesn't look like it's down all the way to where the patch is. I'm going to just hit it with these stripping discs just on the seam of where the patch is, to try and avoid, when I'm welding across there, it pulling any contaminants from the backside out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it in there everywhere, but I'm going to give her my best shot. Okay, that's clean enough. I'm going to get the welder set up. I might see if I can bring a stool over. That way I can be a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So, just a little warning. I'm not super proficient at TIG welding. I mean, I'm just deadly enough to get by, and also just deadly enough to cause a bunch of mayhem. But that's why I do it, is because I want to get good at all aspects. So any chance I can get to kind of progress my skills a little bit. That's what I do, and it keeps it interesting for me. But so these tacks are too far apart. From what I know, you want to get your tacks about an inch apart or even closer, 3/4 of an inch apart, and then I'll run a bead from one side to the other. So I'll just work at tacking this now. So I got it. I got my welder set at 50 amps. I don't use all the 50 when welding. The extra kind of 10 amps or so is for when I'm tacking. I'll hit it full pedal, and usually can melt it pretty quickly and get it tacked. And when I'm welding, I think I drop it down to about probably 40 amps, I would say. Let me see what... I got way too much gas going here. Yeah, so I do. It's always a little bit more nerve-wracking. Also, my gaps, I'm just using 030 wire, I think. Yeah, I'm just using 030 wire. I would like a little bit thicker rod because of when I run the saw cuts through. It's a little bit bigger of a gap than I'd like, especially with this thin of wire. So I'm gonna have to really be feeding the wire to it, and that's where I'm not that great. Already, I got these two panels not lining up that great, so hopefully I can get at it. That feels alright. That feels high still. I wonder if I should take a saw cut through there. I'm thinking of going to. Also, I should have worn my safety glasses there. I should get gloves. Just clipped the end of my finger there. This one feels high too. I'm gonna cut that one too. Yeah, that weld is stretched. For whatever reason, I don't even remember hammering on it. And that's why I kept having to push these together, so hopefully it goes a little bit better here. I'm actually still binding up on it a little bit. So what's happening as I'm tacking it, I'm pushing steel, so I got a high spot here now. So I know I'll cut this tack, and then it will settle down, and then it'll be over at this next tack. So as I'm going across, I'm just gonna keep cutting these tacks so I can tack it from one side to the other and get it sitting the way I want it to. So again, right where that tack is, I got a high spot here. It's like this is all sitting pretty level, and then it's building up tension. Like, I'm assuming where it's wanting to squeeze that weld together, it's popping up. I'm just gonna keep cutting them though, because it's laying really good here. So I just cut all those little tacks. It's laying nice. It's laying really nice now, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully get them to close up. It's a little bit of a gap from the saw blade. I'm sure my big wire's all over. I'm hoping as I go across, the heat will start to pull that crack together, which it should, in theory. That's a little pro tip. Sometimes if you need to fill a gap really good, you just stick a little bit of the tungsten in there to add a little bit of extra material. That's a joke, by the way.
So I got you in really close. This, am I recording? Yes. Okay. So this weld here shrunk the gap in, and so now it's binding right here. So I'm just going to show you when you hammer on it.
You'll find a gap to get in there. Of course, it's over by you. So I don't know if you can see that the top of the weld's flattening out. It's stretching the material out, and now it's opened up that gap. It's gonna be tough to see because it's so,
Tolerances are so tight, and now that metal's sitting side by side. It's still a little tight, but you can hear it moving around now.
I'm gonna try and get it a little bit tighter. The camera's kind of in the way. Oh, there's my other dolly block inside the door. We'll try that one. And you can hear that hammer on dolly, like high pitched ting. That's what you want, just hammering right on top of that weld. So now you can see it's flattened out even more. Open that gap a little more, and it's perfectly flat.
Well, I got you in close. Maybe I'll try and put tack on there. This will be the time where I blow a hole through it, but be patient with me. Or show a little grace in the comments. You might not be able to see anything because of how bright it is.
I held the torch on a little bit longer than I wanted to because when I went to push my foot down to give it some extra heat, my foot hit the tripod. But still not terrible.
I'm just tacking up this door. I got my phone going, that's why I was saying it again. So I just figured I'd get the camera rolling for a few of the tacks and then
I'll set them up when I weld straight across the whole panel too. What I was doing there, when you tack it, the heat shrinks the metal together, and we'll bind these two pieces of sheet metal, and we'll push them up or down. So it's a hammering directly on top of that tack, and it stretches it out and lines the sheet metal back up because it opens the gap up a touch. Alright, take it again. Alright, so I've got the panel all tacked up, and now I'm going to try and take it all the way across one go without stopping, I think. And yeah, so now you guys show me a little grace. I'm not the best TIG welder. I would say I'm just enough to be just good enough to be deadly, and by deadly I mean to blow a bunch of holes in the panel. My arc is doing something weird, kind of wandering around. I think I had it ground too thin or something, and it burnt off, like the tip of the tungsten. Anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it for now. So the traditional
thinking is for sheet metal you tack and keep the heat really low. For TIG welding, because you got a lower heat dispersion in the metal, and because it's a soft weld, you can actually hammer out the shrinking. Or if it's stretched, you can shrink it back down too. But yeah, so I'll grind this off and then I'll hammer and dolly it around so it's back to, got a little bit of a peak to it, but that would be from it shrinking and then pulling together, going higher. Yeah, there it is. I got a couple of holes. So I just took 50 grit grinding disc, grind that down. It's got a bit of a peak to it right now, so what I'm thinking is that the shape that was in it, the weld has shrunk and pulled the shape out and made it so it was a high peak on the weld. So I'm gonna hammer and dolly on these welds for a while. Yeah, so that little bit of hammering's already flattened out the profile a lot, so it's awesome. So the profile on the patch is back. Right here I can feel a flat spot. It's because that needs to be stretched more to allow this to pop back up, because it's pulling it tight and taking the like the convex shape out of it. So the weld shrunk the panel and pulled it tight, took out the convex shape out of it here. And so what I'm doing is I'm hammer on dolly, pinching that weld to flatten it out, which is in turn stretching it and allowing the sheet metal to kind of relax back into the shape it was. Alright, it's not bad. I'm gonna work at it more, but that's enough with the recording. Alright, so that's the door bottom done, so that's gonna be where we're gonna leave this video. As you can see, I'm stripping it now. I'm gonna hit it with some 80 and get it ready to do some body work on it. I'm gonna get this door gap right this week and start doing some body work down the side of it, put a little filler on her, and yeah, get rolling on this thing. So I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out, seeing what's going on in the shop, and make sure you like and subscribe. And if you made it this far, I'm always curious to see who watches the whole videos or not. I know just the way YouTube works, a lot of people skip around stuff, but if you made it this far, just let me know in the comments that you did. Just, I don't know, say a secret word. What could the secret word be? Oh God, gotta come up with a secret word on the spot. Say body hammer in the comments, and I'll know that you made it to the very end. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys, and stay tuned for the next one. Hopefully I can get one out towards the end of this week. So, all right, take care, guys.